Shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAHSHI, YAHAWAHSHI, Rakakadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders that I learned the truth from, the men at GMS and the brethren with the like-minded doctrine. It's the brother Bakala Walam here with another hopeful, edifying video. So, this video is, you see the title is, it says, President Obama called for more online censorship. This from the channel Redacted. You know, this is for educational purposes only. You know, this is for edifying the body. You know, to the of the elect. Hopefully, I'm a part. You know, so I'm gonna play a little bit of this video and bring out some scriptures.
A former intelligence official has come forward saying that Russia is a reason for us to continue this big tech monopoly. You know, there's been a lot of discussion recently about breaking up big tech, right? What are we going to do? They're getting too big for their own britches. Like Google is too big, right? Apple is too big. Well, they're not really picking on Apple so much as they're picking on Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. But Apple you can throw into the mix too. Now, though, because of the war in Ukraine, we're hearing from U.S. security officials and the U.S. security state. Glenn Greenwald has a great breakdown on this whole mess. That now a former group of intelligence national security officials on Monday issued a jointly signed letter warning that pending legislative attempts to restrict or break up the power of big tech monopolies, Facebook, Google, and Amazon, would jeopardize national security because they argue their centralized censorship power is crucial to advancing U.S. foreign policy. Guys,
we can't just have you joining new platforms where you can be free. We've done so much work to bully Google and Microsoft to give us the keys to the kingdom. We can't break them up
so now,
and start making new friends.
Right, we can't. We've consolidated power into Google, Facebook, Amazon, right? Jeff, all of these billionaires, they run the show. Now they are they are blocking stuff left and right online, okay? They are censoring things left and right, and that's exactly what we want. Now, if we break them up into smaller companies, it's going to be a lot harder for us to go after them. And that is why they hate Elon Musk so much. I mean, this type of censorship, like today, for instance, on Twitter now banning Shakespearean quotes. Like, you can't quote Shakespeare on Twitter because it is a violation of their terms of service. You can't quote Shakespeare where if you refer to, I'm not going to say it because YouTube will probably block us. I won't even say it. You can't say it.
You can read in the bottom what it's supposed
Look at
to
Reddit.
say.
You know, there's a community on Reddit for Amazon workers that has banned the word union. You can't use the word union because, God, that goes against what we want to do here. You can't use those words. We're going to ban books. We're going to continue to ban and take down videos. We're going to block and censor all kinds of speech on the internet. And that, of course, is hugely frightening to the military-industrial complex and the intelligence and national security state. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, one of their central claims, as Glenn Greenwald points out, is that big tech monopoly power is necessary to combat foreign disinformation.
Interesting.
So this is like, we're worried about foreign
what other
disinformation.
people say. Yes, absolutely. Well, the latest is that Elon Musk has...
So I'm gonna stop it there, right? So basically, they trying to come in with all this censorship, which Barack Obama is trying to put more censorship online, which is basically they trying to incriminate freedom of speech. You know, you have a right to freedom of speech. That's your First Amendment right. A right to protest, a right to press. You know, all that's protected. A right to religion, all that's protected under the First Amendment. You know, your First Amendment right. So they trying to make a man an offender for a word. Basically, they trying to criminalize you for freedom of speech. We're gonna get that in Isaiah the 29th chapter, in the 20th verse. And it says, "For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all they that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught." So the point was what? To make a man an offender for a word. Verse 21. But that's what Esau Edom is trying to do here, man. He's trying to, because this is all in efforts to basically discredit like the 4Ds. What is it? If I'm not mistaken, I think is dismiss, discredit, demonize, and destroy. That's the 4Ds, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what they're trying to do. So they're going to go into how they're trying to use this ideal from Barack Obama into using censorship. So I'm gonna skip to another part here about the Salakia's commercial. Okay, Salakia, that was a commercial. But yeah, see, that's all of this is an effort to basically go against the men of the Lord primarily. You know, in a sake, in prophecy's sake, this is all an attempt, just like these false flag events. You know, the latest one. You know, I know without a doubt, seeing the proof. You know, what I'm saying the NYC subway incident, which I'm not going to speak much on it, but all that was a false flag. You know, I seen the proof for myself, and I'm gonna go ahead and let this play because yeah, this all is an attempt to demonize or criminalize this truth here because they're gonna try to ban the Bible, ban freedom of speech. You know, they already saying the Bible is hate speech. That's what they're trying to do.
Well, another story I wanted to call your attention to is President Obama. So President Obama has been giving a speech at a lot of different private events lately, according to reports, and it's the same speech that he's been given around internet censorship. And he is expected to call for more internet censorship in a Stanford speech coming up in the next few days. According to the Chicago Tribune, Obama is expected to add his voice to the demands for a rise in the reign of flood of lies flooding public discourse. So President Obama is going to be calling on more internet censorship. I mean, guys, like this is exactly what we don't need. And if you ever wondered where the real minds of these liberal politicians sit, these moderate liberal politicians, what their agenda is, it sits right here.
Well, and some of the things he's already said, so this is a quote from one of his recent appearances. He says, "I think it's reasonable for us as a society to have a debate and then put in place a combination of regulatory measures and industry norms that leave intact the opportunity for these platforms to make money. But say to them, there's certain practices you engage in that we don't think are good for society." So that's interesting.
So what he said that was there, what censorship on the internet, more internet censorship by this guy here, Barack Obama, which is going to issue in what the famine of the word. This is what all this is going to bring about. You know, they're going to try to shut down the internet, these social platforms, YouTube, internet altogether, because that's when they're trying to Google, all these other search engine websites. They trying to censor and shut down, which is going to bring in or usher in the famine of the word. This is out of Amos the 11th, Salakia, the 8th chapter in the 11th verse. It says, "Behold, the day comes, saith the Lord God, YAHAWAHSHI, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord, YAHAWAHSHI. So this is all an effort to bring about this prophecy here. You know, verse 12. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, YAHAWAHSHI, and shall not find it. So that's what's going to happen to the masses, you people, man, you Israelites, primarily, man, because y'all going to be searching, you know, they're going to be looking for answers, but they shall not find it. In verse 13, in that day shall the fair virgins and the young men faint for thirst. So that faint for thirst, man, that's why I was going into explaining. That's gonna be you so-called Israel, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You know, that's gonna be you in this day, man. You're gonna be seeking for answers because they know this word is going out, and they know it's like it. Yeah, they know that the men of the Lord is out there in the highways and byways, the highways and hedges, uh, preaching the word of YAHAWAHSHI, and that what it says, young men young men, it's like it, verse 13, in that day shall fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. That thirst is what we're gonna prove what that thirst is. The book of John, the 6th chapter, 35, John 6 and 35. That's what you're gonna faint for. The book of St. John, chapter 6, verse 35. And it says, and Yahawashi said unto them, this is written in red, verse 35, 1 John, it's like it, John, the book of John, 6 and 35. And Yahawashi said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. So that's that what it says, the fair virgins and the young men gonna faint for thirst, because y'all gonna be looking for answers, man. Y'all be looking for this word, which, you know, according to John the 1st chapter, the most Yahawashi is the word, man. You know, he is the word made flesh, man. Pursuing to John, St. John 1, verse 1 and 14. You know, that's what you're gonna be looking for, this word, man. That's where you're gonna faint, because they're gonna be looking for answers, man. So I'm gonna let this continue.
You lay that out, how he's saying. So he's saying, as a society, we should have a debate, and then whoever wins that debate, we then only let them have, because then we put in place regulatory measures. So we have the debate, right? Okay, we can debate things. But then if you lose the debate, you can't say those things. We lock the losing debate up.
So what she said, that they're gonna put in regulatory measures. It's like it.
Let them have, because then we put in place regulatory measures.
See, that's what it is. They're gonna put regulatory measures is what? These unrighteous decrees. You already have a First Amendment right to freedom of speech. So they trying to demonize you and try to say stuff is misinformation, disinformation, hate speech, or whatever they want to say to pass these unrighteous decrees, man. But you have a right to freedom of speech, which I'm gonna get on. That's in the book of Isaiah, the 10th chapter, Isaiah 10 and 1. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and write grievousness which they have prescribed. So this is an unrighteous decree, which is going to just as a part of prophecy, it's going to issue in the famine of the word, because they're going to try to shut down these platforms or particular videos. If that's the case, this truth because they're already doing that. They're already shadow banning a lot of videos, that speak against what is not science, what is not fact. They shadow ban these videos, so that's already going on, and it's gonna come to a time where anybody that speaks against this government's agenda, the elites primarily, is not going to be found. Man, you want to found these wayward doctrines from these other so-called these other Israelite camps, so-called Israelite camps. For the most part, you're gonna have these camps, these people that's gonna be lost, and they're gonna be completely lost because the truth that the men of YAHAWAHSHI, starting with the apostles and elders from GMS and on down, they give you that 100% truth, and these true videos are gonna be taken down, man. Because they're gonna they bringing about these unrighteous decrees that's going to issue in the prophecy of the famine of the word, So I'm gonna let it play a little bit more.
So we have the debate, right? Okay, we can debate things. But then if you lose the debate, you can't say those things. We lock the losing debate up in censorship, and then we narrow the spectrum of acceptable speech to just whoever won that debate. Oh,
see, that's another thing too. See, they said debate, so that's why a lot of times these so-called Christians come up to the men of the Lord when they out in the highways and hedges, bringing the Bible out. They have no defense. They want to come and debate the men of the Lord, which they debate and win. The men of the Lord win every time. Through the scriptures, because the scriptures said, "Prove all things." According to what's written. Every man should speak according to the oracles of YAHAWAHSHI, meaning the words of the Bible. You must precept upon precept. So when these so-called Christians come up, they're defeated. So what she was saying there, that whenever if you lose a debate, that's it. And whatever that person that lost, they basically nobody want to hear from them. I guess that's what they're trying to say. They're going to try to ban those people that lost the debate. When in actuality, that's what happened to all these Christians or whoever else come up with these man-made religions and speak against the Bible, man. They lose. They lose the debate.
okay. But then, did we get that during COVID? Because I don't think we got to really have the debate. We only just were told what was acceptable to say, and then we locked up all dissenting voices. Did the Canadian truckers get that?
No.
Do we get that for mask mandates? Do we get that for Ukraine? Like, it doesn't seem like there is at all this open debate forum. And also, aren't we a little bit concerned that if this is what he's saying, we have a debate, we decide what's good for society, and then we lock up the losers? Are we thinking that there will be some kind of fair debate?
See what you say there, and they lock up the losers. See that? That's prophecy too, man. That's the spirit too. So that's what they're going to try to do. Of course, it's going to happen, man. To certain men. In this walk, that's why we don't know what lot we in. We don't even know if we're part of the elect. So we have to, all scenarios and aspects of the Bible that a man of the Lord may be in, we must bring these out. Some of us going to be martyrs for the word. That's why we must go into all aspects of the situations. Some going to be martyrs, but the majority are not. A majority are going to see the heavenly, YAHAWAHSHI coming back, man. But we must prepare ourselves for any situation. So what she said, cast the losers in the prisons. Let me bring that back.
And also, aren't we a little bit concerned that if this is what he's saying, we have a debate, we decide what's good for society, and then we lock up the losers? Are we thinking that they're...
And we lock up the losers. So that's what they, more or less, they're not going to play fair, man. They probably going to have yay or nay, a decision. Who says who's right? Who says who's wrong? You know they're gonna go against the man of the Lord, man. You know they're gonna say, you know, they're gonna choose whatever they think, man. They're gonna go along with the ways of this world. So she says some of them might lock up, which is prophecy. Revelation, the 2nd chapter, in the 10th verse, and it says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall be Salakia, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days." That 10 days means a certain amount of days. You know, a certain amount of days. You know, be thou faithful unto death. So 10 days mean a certain amount of days. It's not a specific amount. It's not, you know, it varies. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Because some men will be martyrs for this truth. Some going to be beheaded. You know, we must, you know, strengthen ourselves with these scriptures, because any situation may occur. So we must put each other in remembrance according to the word, what is written. You know. So that's what she was saying there, that they want to lock certain people up, but they're going to try to round a couple of men of the, you know, they're going to try to round us up, the men of the Lord, you know, for doing the work of YAHAWAHSHI. That's what they're going to do. So I'm going to let it play.
Will be some kind of fair debate? And is there something we would miss if we lock up the losers in this debate? Like, do you see how this is so dangerous?
Yeah, he says, I think it's reasonable for us as a society to have a debate and then put it in combination of regulatory measures. So we can have the debate first, as you say, and then after you guys have it, then we'll put in regulatory measures and we can decide what is free speech. He was asked about this. I want to play a good chunk of this and have a discussion here as we wrap things up today. He talked about censorship at this event organized by The Atlantic, okay, which is hilarious, and the University of Chicago, also hilarious. He said his social media companies should censor what is not good for society. And he talks about it in the context of the Ukrainian war. And he says this with a straight face. I just want you to watch what he says here about the people in the audience, about how you all have access to any piece of unfiltered information that you want. Listen to President Obama meander his way around, basically calling for censorship here.
If you ask me what I'm most concerned about when I think back to towards the end of my presidency, it probably has more to do with the topic here today,
which is about disinformation.
I grappled with a lot during my presidency. I saw it sort of unfold. And that is the degree to which information, disinformation, misinformation was being weaponized. And we saw it, but I think I underestimated the degree to which democracies were as vulnerable to it as they were, including ours.
Well, let me ask you about something notable that's happening in Russia, which is that despite somewhat porous internet, globalization, everything else, most Russians, from what we understand from reporting, seem to have very little idea that Ukraine is not the aggressor nation, that it's not run by neo-Nazis, and so on. And so my question for you has to do with, how do you break through to authoritarian regimes or populations controlled by authoritarians to give them your understanding of reality, democracy's understanding of reality?
Well, I don't think we have an easy solution. I mean, we have courageous journalists. You saw a woman with a handheld sign go across the TV screen saying this is all a lie, and it, you know, that obviously got suppressed quickly. Here's one way to think about it, though. For all the flaws that may exist in our own society, you can get any information you want right now. It's in your pocket, or some of you are taking pictures, so it's right in front of you. unfiltered. Literally, there's nothing.
See, that's another problem. They got a problem with this internet, man. That's why he said you can get any information that you want. It's right there. He basically talking about the internet, your cell phones, your smartphones, because you can put up any information that you want. That's why they got a problem. I forgot that quote from one of these elites. I can't remember which one said it. You know, they said the something about the internet was the worst invention. I know I'm not quoting it right, but one of these elites had made a quote with having a problem with the internet. So that's why he brought that out. You know, this information is out there, and they have a problem with the internet because this information is readily at your fingertips.
You cannot receive right now in this room.
Wrong. That's wrong.
Exactly.
And yet, in our society, you have currently roughly 40% of the country that appears convinced that the current president was elected fraudulently and that the election was rigged.
But he's not going to speak on the behalf of the Hunter Biden situation. He's not going to speak on that, you know, with the laptop being missing. You know, the evidence, the FBI had it in their evidence, but all of mysteriously the laptop is disappearing. So many lies after lies after lies. Was Joe Biden? He's not going to speak on that issue.
You have 30% to 35% of the country that has chosen not to avail itself of a medical miracle, the development of a vaccine faster than anything we've ever seen before, which, by the way, now has been clinically tested by about a billion people.
Okay.
So I'm gonna stop it there. So he's saying this so-called medicine out there has been tested on about 1 billion, clinically tested on about 1 billion people, which you people out there with the lab rats or the guinea pigs for this experiment. So I'm gonna leave it off there, man. You know, which there's a Nuremberg code that the Nuremberg code says you can't do anything against your will when it comes to medicine. You know, so I'm gonna leave it off there. You know, I want to say, call YAHAWAHSHI, YAHAWAHSHI, Rakakadash, Shalom till the next time, YAHAWAH, which means Lord willing, and Wild Bible Ball, DTA soon.